huge crypto bull run is about to happen. It's not going to take too long from now, in my opinion. And in this video, I would like to show more of my bullish side, because we have been talking a lot about not buying altcoins yet, and that has been a very good thing. But at a certain point, we must prepare for the bull run, because it is going to get crazy. Today, I would like to take a look at Bitcoin at the previous cycles and what could happen. Like, what if we get a Bitcoin ETF? It's going to get crazy, but before that happens, we must bleed. So let's take a look at that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Welcome, turn the bell notification on, and check out the Patreon down below in the description or in the comments. You get a lot of interesting exclusive content from me every day, week, month, year, whatever. So let's take a look at Bitcoin on the monthly chart first. Now, before you judge me, it is like insanely early here. I have a kid and he does not give a shit about time. So I might say a lot of all right. Nevertheless, Bitcoin. The cycles before, they went completely crazy. Bitcoin pumped in 2000 and, well, let's say 11, 12, 13 till 14 with 65,000%. That was really the beginning. Basically, here it was even more crazy because it started from zero. But after that, it pumped 19,000%. The last bull run, it pumped 2,000%. So you could say, like, okay, the next bull run is not going to be that explosive because we have diminishing returns. And that's definitely true in a certain way. But also, you must understand that these were bull runs where it was mainly driven by retail and some companies, really, but not really big institutions. And big institutions can finally step in once we get a Bitcoin ETF. And that's going to make sure that we have less volatility. Therefore, it's maybe now the once in a lifetime opportunity to still get into crypto, at least into Bitcoin, because, you know, at a certain point, Bitcoin will probably move more like a stock, right? The institutions are all in. There's way more liquidity, so the volatility is way less. But it also means that the price is way higher, right? At a certain point, Bitcoin will be probably a stable coin at around $1 million, and nothing really happens, and you have to trade on futures to get a little money out of it. For now, we are still in the early stages, right? I don't know. I think most people kind of believe that Bitcoin will probably reach $1 million in at least our lifetime. And yeah, if you then look at the fact, like, oh yeah, should we get in at 26,000, at 20,000, at 30,000, doesn't really matter. However, if you are looking to make money between now and the next bull run, yeah, then you have to zoom in a little bit more, of course, and then you have to be a little more picky about, okay, maybe we can get the most out of it if we really buy some lower levels. Well, my tactic is now I am dollar costing into Bitcoin every Monday or Tuesday. I'm putting $1,000 into Bitcoin, and I will do that until the halving happens, give or take, because after the halving, shit always kind of goes parabolic, right? And as long as the cycle is not looking any different, I expect the same. Well, so far it is not looking any different. Matter of fact, I want to compare Bitcoin to 2019 because, in my opinion, we are kind of repeating this cycle, and this has, well, something very bullish to it and something very bearish to it. However, when I say the word bearish, it always depends. Are you prepared? I mean, if you are prepared for something to go down, then it's not bearish. It's bullish because you can get more of that asset, right? It's only bearish if you are not prepared. So what's so similar to 2019 and, well, also 2015 is basically how the whole cycle plays out, right? We had the top in the end of 2013, we had the top at the end of 2017, and we had the top at the end of 2021. Now, of course, it is pretty predictable that we will likely see a top around the end of 2025, right? People say like, well, that's too predictable, so it's not going to happen. It was also very predictable over here, and it also happened. But most people say that, and therefore it is going to happen and take these people off guard. But what's also interesting is we here found a bottom at January 2015. The half of the year we were going up, half of the year we were going down, and we found around those lows again, and then we started the bull run. Here we found the bottom December 2018, which wasn't far from January, right? Half of the year went up, half of the year went down, and then we blasted off. Now we found our bottom in November, also not too far from that period. Half of the year we went up. Now it looks like half of the year we are going down, because yeah, give or take, we have at half of the year of going up, and when July, August hit, we started to go down. This is very cyclical. We kind of predicted this way earlier, and it now like kind of playbook kind of plays out, right? So that's pretty cool. So what, in my opinion, is also likely to happen is, well, the downside is, like said, in this cycle, we have found a kind of a double bottom quite later. In this cycle, we made a higher low, right? Now it's only the question like, okay, yeah, if it's likely to go down, cool. When and how low? Could it be a lower low? Could it be a double bottom? Could it be a high low? I don't know. No idea. The only thing that's so far pretty likely is that we will go down. If it happens this month, maybe next year, January, could also happen. This one happened in March, right? And people say like, yeah, well, there was a black swan, kind of. But you must not forget that even without the COVID black swan, we already went down 50%, right? If we would have come down 50% from our current highs, then it would put Bitcoin at a double bottom, right? And that's without a black swan, right? So that's not even that unrealistic. This was just a cycle, right? We had 50% down right here. That will put us here. In this cycle, we also made a double bottom. The reason it wasn't a double bottom over here is because we first pumped 4x, right? We now just did a 2x. Also, if I look at the stochastic RSI, everybody is always like, oh yeah, if it's oversold, then or overbought, then you should sell. And if it's oversold, then you should buy. And well, that's kind of true. We must look at this. Here we were overbought, right? And you could say like, okay, let's sell, right? At this point, my head is like here. But that was when Bitcoin was sitting at $400. In this whole period where it was overbought, it went from $400 to 20K, right? So it could stay there for a long while Bitcoin is going up pretty hard. However, in 2019, what we did is we went up, right, in this kind of pre-halving pump, fake out bear rally, yeah, whatever you want to call it. But then the stochastic RSI had a reset, which caused Bitcoin to have its final capitulation. I'm kind of seeing the same right now, right? Where we were oversold for a long time, went up, it now crosses and it's pointing to the downside again. And that's where Bitcoin could do something like this, where we do kind of the same as in 2019, where we do something like this, right? And that could cause the new run, right? Could happen. So that's something that I think is quite interesting to take a look at and to consider that we still could go down. And that's why I said, like, yeah, if you are prepared, then it's cool. Because if you, at the end of the day, feel like, yeah, Bitcoin is going higher than where it is right now, and we're going to make a lot of money from that, you can make more if you buy in lower, right? Now, for a fact, I don't know if it's going lower. If I have to take a guess, then I would say 95% yes, right? However, we don't know. Nobody knows, right? So therefore, I'm already dollar costing in Bitcoin, right? I cannot sit on the sideline saying like, okay, I think it's going lower, so I'm going to bet all my money on that and not going to buy anything. Because what if I'm wrong, right? And that's what you always should consider as well. If you look at something, no matter how convinced you are, always think like, okay, but what if I'm wrong? Am I prepared for that scenario as well? Well, I'm prepared for both scenarios. So therefore, I'm pretty calm about the crypto market at this stage. Now, what's also interesting is, I want to show you something else, is the DXY. The DXY is kind of pumping right now. And well, this is a level, the 382, sorry, that I feel like, okay, might be an interesting play to see how it goes from here. If it breaks this level, then we can see the DXY pump quite a lot into the golden zone. And this pump right here from the DXY 2%, we could see something quite similar over here. And that could take Bitcoin down quite a lot as well. So the DXY is pumping, which isn't usually that good for Bitcoin. And if we overlay the DXY on the Bitcoin monthly chart, let me take a look. What do we see? What do we find out right here? Well, let me remove this. Back in 2019, the DXY was also pumping, right? It went from 88, give or take, all the way to 99, and that's a huge pump. In the meantime, Bitcoin went from 20K, well, all the way down to 3K, back to 14K, back to 4K. It was a roller coaster, like really big roller coaster. But when did Bitcoin really start to pump into the next bull run? When the DXY, that's the orange line, came down, right? The dollar went down. That's when Bitcoin really started to pump. Yeah, in my opinion, that's also what we need right now, right? But are there any signs that the dollar should go down? This is the monthly chart for the dollar. If I look at this, I feel like, man, I don't know. At a certain point, yeah, it will come down, right? The Fed will pivot, and maybe it takes a recession, or it first needs the S&P to really crash. And then it will probably come down to maybe back to 88 or so. If we are really lucky, it comes all the way down to 80, right? That's insane then. But first, getting all the way up to maybe 120. It sounds like super bearish, but it's quite on its way, right? It's pretty much on its way there. So yeah, that's what I am also looking at. Again, the S&P, yeah, it looks like the S&P tried to make a new high. However, if you take a look at the S&P on the money supply, then it's quite interesting. As you can see right here, that it's since 2001, basically, always when it got to this level right here, it got rejected, and it got rejected hard, right? Here, the S&P fell with, I can't measure this. Well, it fell quite a lot here. It fell completely. Here it fell a lot. Here it fell a lot. And now we are kind of in the middle of that fall. Could it do something like this? Yeah, definitely. So the short-term pumps won't really change my mind. But we all know if the S&P goes down, Bitcoin goes down, right? That's always what have led Bitcoin in the second half of the pre-halving year to make that double bottom or that slightly higher low, because the S&P went down pretty hard, right? It happened over here. This crash, this COVID crash right here, and it happened over here as well. S&P got down pretty bad, right? So I expect the same. And yeah, when Bitcoin goes down, so when the S&P goes down, Bitcoin goes down. When Bitcoin goes down, what has even less liquidity, so what goes down even harder? Well, altcoins, of course. People love to talk about altcoins. They love, have bullish predictions on altcoins and want me to be bullish on altcoins. But I would be lying if I say that I'm bullish on altcoins at the moment. I'm very bullish long-term on good quality projects, for sure. However, am I bullish in the short term on altcoins? Of course not. This chart has been making lower lows. It's been or lower highs. It's been very weak. The altcoin market is basically just hanging there, but not by much. And I do expect that it could go at least down to to this region. And if we're lucky, it stops there. And otherwise, we could go down way lower. I think altcoins could, from where they are right now, at least fall another 60% or so in a matter of between now and 6 months. That's my kind of what I expect. I do think that from Q1, maybe Q2, so March, the altcoin market will finally, get up again. But the difference is that it by then might be where it is right now, right? But by then you could have way more money. Why do I say that? Well, because I do think that in the meantime it could do something like this, and like I said, if we have some bad luck, maybe this, and then go up again. Right? Don't mind the timing here. That's not relevant. But if you accumulate dollar cost this zone right here, by here, then you can make an instant 3 to 5x or so, right? But it only will be rewarding if you do not throw all your money away into the altcoin market where we are right now. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I love to look at exceptions as well. For example, Hypercycle is a project that I have participated in the pre-sale. And if you look how it went from there, it's been going crazy. If you look at my investment right here, I invested almost $10,000, which I still get 60K from at the moment of recording, which is absolutely incredible. Of course, the current price on the Ether chain is quite devilish. It's slightly different than on the Binance Smart Chain, but it is absolutely incredible. I'm getting this token every single day, and therefore I do buy some altcoins, but I mainly buy launchpad tokens like Seedify, Engine Starter, because again, this project made me, well, this plus this, it made me $70,000, right, for one single pre-sale. Yeah, if you then look at Seedify itself, for example, this chart looks terrible, right? It doesn't look good. But all my losses with Seedify are way compensated already with just one IDO that I participated in through Seedify, let alone all the other IDOs, right? So sometimes in crypto, there are these kind of projects that even if the price goes down, it makes you money, right? And a lot. So this is one of my biggest holdings. It will continue to be that. I love it. Therefore, I made the What Do You Meme token, where we collectively invest in these pre-sales. Also, if you live in America or in a country that's restricted, you can just buy and stake What Do You Meme, and you get a share of our profit. So you can indirectly still participate. That's so innovative about our project. But that's going, fantastic. And like, this is one example of how to make a passive income with crypto, right? Because like I said, I'm getting these tokens every day. For example, with Hypercycle, I don't know exactly how much I get per day, but I still get $60,000 over the coming 1.5 years. So that's what, like $80 a day or so. Yeah, $80 every single day just for one income stream, right? That's very good. If you expect that the market is going down, you can take that money and put it into the crypto market again, right? Because I'm dollar costing out of this I'm selling this every day. I sold it here as well. Do I regret that? No. Although I sold lower, because I'm still getting invested. So I'm dollar costing out automatically if I sell this every day. So I have my cash, right? And then weekly, I'm gonna put that cash into Bitcoin. That's what I'm doing. And then whether Bitcoin goes up, whether Bitcoin goes down, whether it goes sideways, it doesn't matter, because altcoins are going down against Bitcoin, right? That's what you can see on this chart right here. These are altcoins against Bitcoin, and they took a skydive this year. All right. So later, when this has somewhere bottomed out, I'm gonna convert my Bitcoin into altcoins, right? So I'm making money. With that money, I buy Bitcoin. Once that goes up, I'm making money with that. In the meantime, the altcoin market bottoms out against Bitcoin, so I can accumulate that bottom range. And with that money, I make money again in the altcoin run. So there are so many ways you can prepare in crypto and play it safe by spreading your eggs in all different baskets, right? So for me, it doesn't really matter what's happening. And therefore, I'm always like, if it goes up, I'm cool. If it goes down, I'm cool. If it stays sideways, man, I'm getting the passive income. I'm cool. I'm okay with every possible outcome. And that's what you need to do as well. Make sure that you don't rely on one specific direction in crypto. That's the best way to handle it. Can I make more if I now put all my money into altcoins and we get an altcoin season? Of course, I will be like terrible rich, right? But can I also lose it all if I put my money in altcoins? Because altcoins are extremely high risk, of course, and altcoins are a huge gamble, right? The only altcoin that's relative safe is Ethereum. Per definition, every other altcoin, everyone is high risk, right? That's what you need to consider, right? It's all high risk, every one of them. So, yeah, I don't know. It's my job, and I'm not gonna play with too much risk. If you do have some money and you feel like, yeah, I can miss that, and I want to take some risk because I want to make some killers out of it, then I get that you are playing it like that with a part of your money. I'm not personally. What I'm trying to do on this channel as well, and I hope you're interested in that, so I can take you with me on the journey, is to really be strategic, to make a lot of money, but also not to lose any money, right? So I'm not gonna sit there and try to take some gambles to make a 500x on our crypto portfolio, although it would be nice. But we also, if shit hits the fan, try to make sure that we still have some money to buy that shit from that fan, or how do you say that? So that's what we're trying to do right here. Yeah, and therefore I think launchpads are so great because you can catch these things, right? I mean, in a bear market, you can say whatever you want. I made it was more than that. It was a 6x. And that's good money, right? You can say like, well, yeah, if you buy this shitcoin, you can make 100x, but it's a bear market, right? If you make a 6x in the bear market, you did fucking great, right? You shouldn't even really focus on making money in the bear market in the first place, but more to not lose money. If you have that under control, then we can talk about making money. But yeah, it's doing great. But ChainGPT as well, I mean, also participated in that pre-sale. And if you look how that price went, in first instance, it did a, how much was it? A 48x or so. Of course, it came down super hard. Token investing, people taking profits, it's a bear market. But guess what? We're still up 5x. It's doing fantastic. Sophiaverse also made it's sitting at a 4x right now or so. DexCheck, ticker is DIC. Well, AI tech, of course, it all came down. But if you look where we bought it, then it's going great. So if you buy token, what my point is, if you buy tokens from the open market right now, yeah, it's not like very high chances that you will do fine. But if you are early with stuff, then you are. But being early in something is saying like, okay, I trust that this is going to do well. Take my money. You also take more risk. Well, therefore, launchpads like CDFI, Engine Starter, Pools Finance, etc. are a pretty good option because there you also have a refund policy. And of course, these projects are huge. They do their research on these new projects as well. But yeah, therefore I'm saying like if you buy stuff of the open market, yeah, then you take a big amount of risk because even the best projects, they go down hard, right? I mean, if you look at Ethereum, yeah, it still went from 5K to 1,500, right? Ethereum is one of the safer altcoins out there. It's the safest altcoin out there, but it can still take your money. AVAX puts in new lows like almost every week right now. Well, it's a good project. Quant, very popular project. And although it's doing relatively well, right? It still went from, from 480 to 80, kind of, right? And this is what I've been saying with Quant, like, hey guys, wait for this because it has been making lower highs, for example. That's how you want to take a look at it. And this is the bottom range, right? Like the support, the main support. And I said, like, I like the project. I want to buy some, but I want to wait how it plays out. Why do I say that? Because if I ape in right here, then one, it's only going down, but two, when it's crunch time, you want to see which direction it goes. And it now looks like it's going to the downside, right? And therefore I said like, okay, patience, let's wait, see how it plays out. And that's what's in first instance saves you most money, right? Because I didn't throw anything away against Quant. But two, now that it looks like it's going to break to the downside, I can get a pretty decent entry on this, right? Because I did not throw my money away. Some projects do it the opposite way. If you look at Link, Bitcoin, Link is going to be one of my biggest bags in the altcoin bull market, by the way. If I draw this correctly, at least. Look, Link has been in a downtrend for 4 years against Bitcoin. Rejected, 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 fake out, rejected, rejected all the time. And now looks very good, right? We want to see, however, also patience, how that plays out. Because we had a big ass fake out right here, multiple weeks, and it still went down. So even though we were here, it still went down 60%. So this still means that although we are here now, it could at least go down all the way down here, all the way, right? Why? Because it happened before, so it's not impossible. Therefore, patience. It's better to miss out on something than to miss your money. Basically, that's kind of what it is. I want to leave it here. This video is all over the place, but maybe it's a good thing for once. So again, if you like the video, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of exclusive content. Shout out to these people. I have to adjust this sheet because there are more people right now. So sorry if I did not do that yet. I will do it this week, guys. I promise. If you're new, subscribe. See you tomorrow. Take care.